They thought it was genius, a solution to a problem no one wanted to deal with. Just dump the world's waste, plastic, chemicals, even radioactive trash, into a volcano. Let nature do the dirty work. Melt it, burn it, bury it deep. Sounds clean, right? But what if the volcano doesn't stay quiet? What if it reacts? Beneath the crust, a volatile pressure brews, mixing fire, toxins, and gases never meant to meet. Scientists warned it could trigger something we've never seen before. A chain reaction so violent, so unpredictable, it could split the Earth's mantle. You might think this is sci-fi, but tests have already been done, quietly, and something has changed. One volcano is no longer sleeping. If we push further, what happens next might not be containable. Still think it's just garbage? Hit like, subscribe, and let's go. In today's world, we produce over 2 billion tons of waste every single year. Mountains of plastic that won't decompose for centuries, oceans choking with microplastics, electronic junk leaking toxic metals into the soil. Even in space, debris orbits like a graveyard of our forgotten progress. Landfills are overflowing, recycling systems are failing, and entire countries are shipping their trash across oceans just to make it someone else's problem. But what if we could erase it all in one place? Right now, there are voices, quiet but growing, that propose something radical, using Earth's own fury to destroy our mess. Volcanoes. Towering furnaces capable of melting metal and rock alike, reaching temperatures of over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. They seem perfect. They seem efficient. But here's the truth: science still doesn't fully understand what happens inside a volcano when foreign materials are added. Lava flows are not trash compactors. Beneath the surface lie unstable chambers of pressure, gas, and molten rock, sensitive to the slightest shift. One chemical reaction, one unexpected trigger, and the result could be catastrophic. We're living in an era of shortcuts, fast fixes, blind trust in technology, and growing desperation to cover the scars we've made on this planet. The idea of using volcanoes as trash incinerators is more than fantasy, it's being tested. And it may already be too late to stop what we've started. But here's the question no one wants to ask. What happens when the Earth fights back? It started as a classified experiment, buried in the files of an environmental think tank that no longer exists. The year was 2008. A quiet collaboration between a handful of private corporations, energy lobbyists, and one volcanologist with a vision, Dr. Elias Rourke. He believed volcanoes could be the key to humanity's survival, not just a source of geothermal energy, but the planet's natural waste disposal system. The idea was simple, horrifyingly simple. If volcanoes had already shaped continents, buried civilizations, and darkened skies, why not use that same raw power to erase our garbage crisis? No more landfills, no more toxic dumps, just fire, heat, and silence. In 2011, a test was conducted, far from cities, in a remote volcanic region of the Pacific. No cameras, no media. Only one report ever surfaced, and it was buried within days. That test didn't go as planned. Seismic patterns changed. Underground pressure increased. Local wildlife fled the region, and weeks later, a dormant cone erupted unexpectedly. Officials called it a natural shift in activity. But those who were there, those who saw it, said the color of the smoke wasn't natural, that it burned too long, too dark, too quiet. Since then, other tests have been rumored, hidden beneath terms like geothermal research or waste heat modeling. But there's one thing they all share: they're always followed by silence and subtle tremors that weren't there before. We used to fear the wrath of nature. Now, we're feeding it poison, and still pretending it won't notice. The truth is, we're already dangerously close. Right now, there are more than 1,500 active volcanoes across the globe, and at least 50 of them sit within reach of heavily polluted zones. In some countries, waste management plants have quietly been constructed near volcanic sites, officially for geothermal studies, but satellite images reveal something more: unusual excavation patterns, sealed transport routes, and in some cases, shipments labeled non-recyclable waste, Class 4 hazard. In Indonesia, a drone captured footage of barrels, sealed, unmarked, being lowered near the rim of Mount Merapi, one of the most volatile volcanoes on Earth. Within 72 hours, seismic activity spiked. Officials claimed seasonal gas expansion. But independent geologists noted something chilling. The temperature readings inside the crater rose by 17 degrees Fahrenheit without any tectonic trigger. These aren't isolated events. In South America, an entire river near a dormant volcano turned acidic after nearby waste processing. In Iceland, a facility pumping liquid runoff into fissures suddenly reported unexpected venting from deep beneath the surface. These are not accidents. They are signals, warnings, tremors of something far greater. When you feed the planet things it was never meant to digest, plastic polymers, nuclear residue, chemical sludge, you don't just risk contamination, you risk reaction. And the Earth reacts slowly, until it doesn't. Think of it like pressure building in a sealed bottle. You might not see it, but one small twist, one wrong move, and everything explodes. We've always believed nature would absorb our mistakes. But how long before it spits them back out? Here's the part no one wants to admit. Lava doesn't destroy everything. That's the twist. Most people imagine a volcano as a massive incinerator, but science tells a different story. While it's true that lava can reach temperatures of over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, some modern synthetic materials, like fluoropolymers and reinforced composites, don't melt. Others break down into toxic gases when exposed to intense heat, gases that don't just disappear. They rise and enter the atmosphere. In 2017, a controlled experiment in Hawaii showed that burning even small amounts of plastic waste inside a lava flow produced a deadly cocktail of dioxins, hydrochloric acid, and microaerosols. The plume drifted over 2 miles, contaminating air, soil, and water. But here's the shocking part. Some waste didn't burn at all. It sank deep into the volcanic conduit, layer by layer. And we have no idea what happens next. Some geochemists warn that foreign compounds can destabilize magma chemistry, introducing unpredictable reactions, altering viscosity, even changing eruption behavior. Imagine feeding a living system something toxic and unfamiliar. It adapts, or it fights back. Others argue it's harmless, that nature can absorb anything. But what if they're wrong? What if the garbage we bury today becomes the fuel for the eruption of tomorrow, stronger, more violent, more targeted? What if this isn't just a risk, but a countdown? Science isn't united. Governments stay quiet. And the public? Barely knows. But once you understand the mechanics, how lava traps, mutates, and stores what we give it, you start to see this not as an accident waiting to happen, but as a choice we've already made. Today, behind closed laboratory doors and in remote volcanic zones, scientists are testing the boundaries of what Earth can handle. New robotic systems, like the deep flow injectors developed in Japan, can now deliver high-density waste directly into lava tubes with surgical precision. Thermal drones equipped with gas spectrometers are mapping how volatile compounds react when exposed to molten rock. In Norway, AI-driven models simulate how man-made materials shift magma pressure over time. These aren't theoretical tools. They're operational and, in some cases, already in use. A research team in Iceland, funded partly by private waste contractors, has been experimenting with injecting industrial byproducts into dormant vents, claiming it's safe sequestration. But monitoring equipment placed nearby recently detected a new type of gas emission, previously unrecorded in any natural eruption. No one has confirmed what it is, or if it's dangerous. The scary part? Even small changes in volcanic gas composition can alter global weather. When Mount Pinatubo erupted in 1991, it cooled the planet by nearly 1 degree Fahrenheit for over a year, just from ash and sulfur. Now imagine if we unintentionally engineer a reaction more complex, more toxic. The science is moving fast, but oversight is lagging behind. Data is privatized, patents are classified, and many of these projects operate in legal gray zones, outside traditional environmental law. We're not just observing nature anymore. We're interacting with it, modifying it, provoking it. And we still don't know what the long-term consequences will be. But the technology is here. The experiments are active. And once the Earth begins to shift, it won't ask for permission. Some call it innovation. Others call it provocation. Among the scientific community, 2 camps have emerged. One believes that volcano-based waste disposal is the next great leap forward, a geothermal solution to humanity's waste apocalypse. They argue the Earth has already endured worse: asteroid impacts, super eruptions, mass extinctions. What's a few thousand tons of synthetic trash compared to that? They say nature is adaptable, and this is no different than how forests recover after fire. But the other side? They're terrified. They believe we've crossed a line, that by injecting artificial compounds into geological systems, we're awakening forces we don't understand. A leaked paper from a Swiss research group revealed that under extreme pressure, certain plastics do not disintegrate, they crystallize. If those fragments settle deep enough, they could block pressure channels or shift magma flows in unnatural directions. The result? Eruptions that don't follow historical patterns, faster, hotter, less predictable. Already, eruptions in two previously stable volcanoes, Mount Nyiragongo and Cerro Azul, have shown anomalies. Lava jets moving sideways. Underground detonations. Pressure buildups without seismic warning. Scientists can't explain them. But both sites were near recent waste experiments. Coincidence? Or consequence? One thing is certain, progress always has a shadow. And every action we take against nature leaves a trace. Maybe we believed we were solving a problem. Maybe we were just burying it, deeper and deeper, until the Earth decides to spit it all back out. And by then, what price will we pay for trying to outsmart the planet? And then it happened. Not with an explosion, but with silence. A tremor deep beneath the Pacific, small, almost unnoticeable. Until hours later, Mount Isabella in the Galapagos erupted with a force 5 times greater than predicted. The lava was darker, faster, filled with fragments that didn't belong. Scientists detected strange compounds, traces of heavy metals, microplastics fused with mineral glass. Satellite thermal scans revealed subterranean heat rising along a fault line stretching over 3,000 miles, a volcanic chain awakening in sync. Days later, in southern Italy, Mount Etna, quiet for months, erupted violently, spewing a black cloud laced with unknown chemical signatures. Crops failed. Water sources tested positive for airborne contaminants. Thousands fled their homes, not from fire, but from air. And that was only the beginning. In the Philippines, residents reported birds falling mid-flight, their lungs scorched from something unseen. In South America, livestock died mysteriously after drinking from once clear streams. The ash wasn't just ash anymore, it carried the residue of everything we thought we had buried. The reaction wasn't local. It was global. The Earth had become an amplifier, spreading our poison in ways no one predicted. Governments scrambled. Scientists denied. But communities felt the truth in their breath, their water, their food. And suddenly, the debate ended. Because now, everyone was affected. It wasn't a theory. It was reality. And the terrifying question that remained wasn't just what we had done, but what else had we awakened beneath the surface, something ancient, reactive, and no longer under our control. We thought we were solving a problem, that by throwing our waste into the fire, we could erase the evidence of everything we didn't want to face. But fire doesn't forget. It transforms. Now, the Earth carries traces of our choices in its breath, its veins, its voice. We've entered an age where technology can bend nature, but should it? The promise of progress has always come with a shadow. And here, at this crossroads, humanity faces a question deeper than science, more dangerous than eruption. Do we keep going? Do we trust machines, models, and data more than instinct? Or do we finally listen to the tremors, the silence, the signs that something ancient and powerful is stirring? This isn't just about trash. It's about what we believe we're entitled to control. The Earth was never passive. It was patient. And now, maybe it's done waiting. Some say we must continue, optimize the system, perfect the method. Others warn, stop before we can't. But the truth? No algorithm can calculate the price of arrogance. We're not at the edge of science. We're at the edge of choice. And whatever we do next will echo for generations. Evolution or extinction, surrender or survival. The ground beneath us is shifting and the time to choose is running out. Maybe you're still thinking, it's just a volcano, just garbage, just another theory. But deep down, you feel it, don't you? That quiet discomfort, the one you can't explain. Because this story, it's not really about lava or science. It's about us. Our need to hide the damage we create, to bury it, burn it, ignore it, and hope it disappears. But the planet keeps the score. I'm not a scientist. I'm not trying to scare you. I just can't shake the feeling that we've crossed into something we don't understand. And once you know this, once you've seen how far it's gone, it's hard to unsee it. What if the next eruption isn't natural? What if it's something we caused, and we just don't want to admit it? And what if the Earth isn't the one out of control? What if we are? So I need to ask you, if there were a button in front of you, one that could erase all this, undo the damage, but at a cost, would you press it? Or would you look away, pretend none of this ever happened? You've heard the facts. You've felt the fear. Now it's your turn to answer. Leave a comment. Be honest. Because if this story ever becomes reality, it won't happen to someone else. It'll happen to all of us. And maybe, just maybe, we're not watching the volcano. Maybe it's already watching us.